Weardale, Northern England, August 1327. For weeks, the suffocating bogs and sprawling forests of northern England have been swallowed by relentless freezing rain. A massive English army of 24,000 heavily armored men marches north. Led by the newly crowned 15-year-old King Edward III, they have a single, obsessive mission: to hunt down and annihilate a highly mobile Scottish raiding force that has been burning the English countryside. The English war machine is an unstoppable juggernaut of steel, heavy cavalry, and thousands of foot soldiers. But they are hunting ghosts. Unlike the lumbering English army, burdened by massive supply wagons and heavy armor, the 10,000 Scottish raiders travel impossibly fast. Led by the legendary and terrifying tactician James the Black Douglas, the Scots ride small, agile ponies. They carry no baggage trains, no tents, and no field kitchens. They survive solely on bags of oatmeal and the cattle they capture, boiling the meat inside the animal's own hide. For weeks, the Scots lead the frustrated English army on a miserable, exhausting chase through their own kingdom. The English hunters are starving, their armor rusting, their horses sinking into the mud, while the Scottish prey easily outpaces them, leaving a trail of scorched earth. Finally, the exhausted English army corners the Scots along the raging waters of the River Wear. But the Black Douglas hasn't been trapped. He has deliberately chosen his ground. The Scots are entrenched on a steep, rocky hill across the river, an absolutely impregnable defensive position. For days, the massive English army sits freezing in the mud, trying to lure the Scots into an open battle. The Scots simply refuse, mocking the English from the high ground. Then, under the cover of absolute darkness, the Scottish army vanishes. When the sun rises, the English find the hill completely empty. The Scots have silently relocated in the night to an even stronger, more heavily wooded position 2 miles away: Stanhope Park. The frustrated English follow and surround the park, confident that they can simply starve the outnumbered Scots into submission. But James Douglas is not a man who waits to be starved. He decides to strike the head from the English giant. On the pitch-black night of August 4th, Douglas gathers 200 of his most elite, hand-picked heavy cavalry. Under the cover of darkness, they cross the river miles away from the main camp and silently approach the rear of the sprawling English encampment. Speaking in a perfect English accent, Douglas rides past the sentries, pretending to be an English officer inspecting the night watch. Before the guards realize what is happening, the 200 Scottish horsemen are deep inside the sleeping English camp. Suddenly, the night is shattered by a terrifying roar. "A Douglas! A Douglas!" The Scottish cavalry charges directly into the heart of the camp, cutting down panicked, half-naked English soldiers as they stumble from their tents. Douglas and his men drive straight for the center of the camp, the royal pavilion of King Edward III. In a blur of steel, the Black Douglas violently slashes the ropes of the king's massive tent, bringing the heavy canvas crashing down on top of the terrified teenage king. As the English camp erupts into total, blind chaos, with soldiers accidentally killing each other in the dark, Douglas sounds his horn. His 200 men effortlessly cut their way back out of the camp and vanish into the night, leaving the colossal English army paralyzed by fear. The psychological devastation is absolute. For the next week, the traumatized English army refuses to sleep, standing fully armed in the freezing rain, waiting for a phantom attack that never comes. Believing the Scots are finally trapped and out of food, the English prepare a massive, overwhelming dawn assault to crush them once and for all. But when the dawn finally breaks and the English charge the hill, they are met with dead silence. The Black Douglas has outsmarted them one last time. During the night, the Scots laid a secret pathway of woven branches across a supposedly impassable, deadly bog behind their camp. They slipped away, every single man, leaving behind only the smoldering campfires and a few captured cows. The 24,000-man English army is left staring at the mud, humiliated, broken, and defeated without fighting a single pitched battle. The teenage King Edward III openly weeps in frustration. Battlefield legends, where the line between hunter and prey is a mirage. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more epic history.